Well, hey there, everybody. What is going on? It is Thursday night. It is that time for the Toypixx live stream. I was a couple seconds late. My apologies. I hate being late. It drives me crazy when it comes to this kind of thing. Usually, though, when it comes to a party, totally good with it. I can show up like an hour late and everybody's annoyed. Anywho, for the replay crew, here's the question that I want to answer tonight. Is everything with all the action figures that are out there and all the companies that are out there, all the Kickstarters, all the things, is everything getting overwhelming? And I don't mean that, I don't want it to sound negative because it's not negative. You know, you'll hear about people will say things like, in the film industry, they'll say things like there's superhero fatigue because of Marvel movies, or I've heard Star Wars fatigue, or just sci-fi, fantasy fatigue, any kind of fatigue, when in reality, I fall in the camp that thinks, no, it's just kind of bad product fatigue, right? Except the difference is with action figures, everybody is knocking it out of the park. And so that's where I'm sitting here going, man, everybody's making such good stuff. I want to try a lot of the good stuff, but we all also know how the rabbit hole works. So I don't know. I mean, for me, I can try something with this line, but suddenly, oh man, I want it all. Like I got some Street Fighter figures from Jada last year, and now I just want all the Street Fighter figures. It's that kind of thing. It's that sort of deal with me. So I'm overwhelmed in a sense that everything is just so good that I just keep looking at it going, man, I'm even spoiled for choice. Like, we could get army builders from anybody that have incredibly cool accessories that are swappable, that are customizable, that have tons of hands. And we all know how important hands are for photography. For instance, right now with Monster Force, you can get all kinds of stuff with those guys. Swap things out, go mad, go crazy, at least from what I've seen on reviews. And then there's Action Force, same deal as far as the army builders are concerned. And then it's why I put so many different companies in the description for this live stream, is because so many of them are just knocking things out of the park. And it's gotten to a point where it's difficult for me to decide, wow, who gets the money? And where I tend to fall back in that instance is, okay, there's too much good stuff. So now I'm just going to hold on to the money and spend it on just a few very select lines, which kind of sucks because you get to a point where you should experiment, but then, or you feel like you should experiment, at least I do. But then you get to this point of, oh man, I just experimented and now I want them all. So what do you do at that point? That's where it gets tricky. And that's where I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. It's not because I'm looking at all this stuff and kind of feeling like, well, I don't know about action figures anymore. Not at all. It's I'm looking at this stuff and thinking, why is everybody making everything so good that made it so that my guidelines from a few years ago are kind of obsolete? Like, the reason I had those guidelines was so I wouldn't have to venture outside of just a few lines. And now every line is making stuff that's awesome. This is where I'm hosed. Yeah. Anyway, we have the chat. So let me find out what's going on with all of them and we'll get moving. Miss Cogsmith, are we overwhelmed? Yes. I may love it, though my shelf space and wallet do not. Fact. I am totally with you right there. And that's something I've been saving some money for Toypixx and making things work like that. And so I haven't been spending as much. And then, like, I fear that once Toypixx starts bringing in the money, I'm going to just come back with a vengeance. And it's not going to be pretty for anybody. And you guys will know when it happens. It's suddenly you're going to see, oh, he wanted all the MAFEX. Look, there's all the MAFEX. Skew Raider, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. And we have more. Dope figures dropping community. Yes. I know, man. So many people are making so many good things. It's almost unfair. Our wallets, they weep, they scream, they want relief. Harry, what's going on, man? Hey, thanks for voting. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the photo contest voting video is up. So if you haven't gotten a chance to vote yet on September's photo contests, you'll have a chance until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on October 3rd. So what I'm asking people to do is to pick their top 3 favorite photos and list them in order, and I'll tally up the scores, and we'll have a winner for that SDCC Chun-Li after everything's said and done. So thank you very much. I just put that up today, by the way, so you can go and you'll find it fairly easily. I do have a link to it in the video description, and I also have a link to the Toypixx website that has a page that you can maybe get a better look at the images as well. Miss Cogsmith, it sounds like my bro with Joy Toy and me with Mezco. Oh man, isn't it tough though? Like Mezco, Joy Toy. First off, okay, Joy Toy. If I were into 1/18th, Joy Toy is where that money would go. Like the way they've been doing the turtles, I'd go Haya too. I'd get the Haya 1/18th, and I'd get the Joy Toy 1/18th because the Haya GI Joe stuff is looking really good. And Joy Toy, with those turtles, with the Warhammer, with all the just weird stuff they come out with, oh man, Joy Toy is amazing. And Mezco, I just saw that, what was it? BBTS put up some Rumble Society figures on there today. And I was looking at those going, well, if I'm going to get Mezco, it's going to be some Rumble Society. So that's what I'm talking about. I'd love to test out Joy Toy, and I know I'm going to have to test out a Mezco. But then what happens? Die, wallet, die. That's what happens. Lord Galvatron 80, what's going on, man? No shortage of awesome figures, and therein lies the problem. This is what hoses us all. How do you guys handle that, by the way? Are you more like me where you're like, oh man, there's zillions of awesome lines, so now I'm gonna come way back and just try and focus on like 3? Or do you look at them all and go, well, I'll cherry pick from here, I'll cherry pick from here, I'll cherry pick from there? I mean, I'm not a completist. It's just that there's so much stuff that I like. Skew Raider, now Joy Toy has turtles, like you said. Crazy nice. I know, man. The Shredder and Foot Soldier that they just showed off, those things are amazing. Nolan, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, what do you guys think, man? Because this is a tough time to be a collector. Not because things suck, but because things are so good. Gomez awaits, Dave. So many to pick from. Any thoughts yet? The 2 that have my attention right now are the one that looks like Mork from Mork and Mindy, but that came with the giant mech suit. But then I think they sold him separately as well. And then the other one is more the James Bond looking one. There was something, the casino, I don't know. He's wearing a white vest and black pants, all that stuff. So yeah, those are the 2 that have my eye right now. But we'll see what happens in the future here. Right now, those are the front runners. But Mezco could drop something tomorrow and have me go, whoa, maybe not. How about you, Skew? Do you have any Gomez's? And if so, which ones? Let's see. Skew saying hi to the people. I like it. Nice picks for Gomez. Sweet. Yeah, those are the ones that really have my attention. The way I handle it isn't necessarily the best way, but Afterpay and Cecil have been my after Afterpay and Cecil have been my best friends lately until that second, third, and fourth payments are due. That's what I'm saying too. Like I look at things like layaway and I look at the pay in four, and suddenly it's kind of like, wait, I'm just adding up the more that I'm going to have to pay down the line and everything else. So usually what I want to do, like ideally for me, is let's pay off the figure up front. Otherwise, things are going to sneak around or sneak in while I'm still trying to build this thing. And that's a lot tougher. By the way, I thought I had Cobra Commander on pre-order, but I looked at BBTS and I looked at Entertainment Earth and I couldn't find him. And then I was just casually looking at my orders on Amazon, and there he was. Because for a minute I thought, uh-oh, I don't have CC on his way. But he is. He's good. We're all right. Oh my God, BBTS has Bartholomew Vex. I adore that figure so much. I saw Bartholomew. Yeah, check out what's going on with BBTS, guys. If you're into the Rumble Society, I think Toy Bro posted it on X today. Is where I saw it. Game of Death Gomez doubles for a Bruce Leroy Nico Hodge custom head body. Tip from Jay Hernandez. Ah, okay, and that's right because he's totally got, like, that suit is totally Bruce Lee, isn't it? I kind of forgot about that one. I mean, the other two would still be the front runners, but I did forget about that one. Eventually, I'll get a Gomez, kick myself for not getting that Union Gomez. That Union Gomez has provided some of the best photos I've seen of a Gomez figure. It's amazing what people did with that thing. I don't even know. Like, I look at the stuff and I'm just going, these guys, they're good. They're good at this stuff. What's up, Tragic, man? Thank you for stopping by. I feel like I'm whistling G1 Transformers because that tends to be on in the background while I'm working on stuff, because Hasbro put up season 1 of G1 and that's just on total loop while I'm working on the computer. Amazon is still saying October for my pre-order, a retro Cobra Commander. Yep, mine was showing October 3rd. So check that out. Hopefully, I mean, October 3rd is not that far away. I'm going to have a couple things coming in around then. I still don't have my first Turtles from NECA. They haven't shipped that, or at least I haven't gotten a shipping notice. And then Cobra Commander and the MAFEX cap. So suddenly I haven't been collecting much, and a lot's going to jump in here shortly. And I can't wait for any of those. I'm excited about all of them. Probably Cap the most, because I've been missing a Captain America since I sold off most of my Legends, and I love Captain America. Skew, Union Gomez is sweet. They are all great choice. Go for the one you like the most. Can't lose. I'm totally with you. That's one nice thing about their Gomez's. It's one nice thing about a lot of these companies. They're making things in so many great styles. You can't go wrong. There's so much. We really are spoiled for choice. Again, that adds to the overwhelm, for me anyway. Flatline 2K6, thanks for stopping by. Looking forward to your counterpoint to being overwhelmed. The counterpoint is mostly, I'm not a completist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not somebody who, I don't even want to have a lot of stuff. Like, if I had a room that I could totally dedicate to shelving and keep things neat, like, I don't like when your shelves start to get so overcrowded that things start kind of staggering and popping out and overlapping and everything else. Ideally, my perfect display would have like little cubby holes for each figure I have, with like a card or something there. It's almost like, it would almost be like a museum style display. And then when it was time to shoot one of them, pull them out. So I'm not even into having a ton of stuff. There is so much good stuff that I don't know. It's tough to make decisions. it's more on the overwhelming side there. Like I've said a couple times in this video, I feel like for me, and I don't know for everybody else so much, but for me, the more great lines come out, the more I want to just focus on a very few and not try these out because I am worried about the rabbit hole. So the overwhelm is there's so much good stuff, but should I even try dabbling in any of it, you know? BBTS is going crazy today. G.I. Joe Vamp sold out twice and Mezco Rumble Society galore. We might have to hit up BBTS before this stream's over, guys. I didn't know about the Vamp. Thanks, Tragic. That's a good looking vehicle. I might like it more than the Stinger, although I really like the look of the Stinger too. What the plastic? Hi, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by. I should probably just stop whistling. Get that Transformers theme out of my head. Hello, Brick, man. Thank you for stopping in. Good to see you. Maybe you get a break from grading some papers this fine evening. Let's see. It's probably bad form to push the button and then be like, I should take a drink. Road Pig is charging soon from BBTS. See, Road Pig, one thing that I've noticed me doing is pulling back a little from G.I. Joe only because so few of their characters are coming from with extra hands. And I've gotten to the point where I don't want to get the figures that are just upscaled 80s versions. Road Pig is not just upscaled 80s versions. And I definitely want to check him out. Just like I want to check out Nemesis Immortal. I want to check out Jinx, kind of, but hearing about the articulation at the waist has me kind of bummed because that makes her another ninja who can't do ninja things, and that bugs me. But yeah, G.I. Joe, when they fire on all cylinders, they're firing on all cylinders for me. Ooh. There's so much stuff and so many people. You guys know what's up. I appreciate everybody being cool with everyone in the chat. This is good stuff, guys. It's awesome to see everybody greeting each other and being like, hey, what's going on, guys? Yo, LBZ, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in. I notice you try and change your name from time to time, and I always just go back to LBZ. So, you know, let me know what you want to be called on here. That's totally fair, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's like it is. It's not that I'm a completist at all. It's just there's so much good stuff. If it were, I almost, not really, but I'm gonna say it just to maybe kind of make a bit of a point. I almost wish the figures were back 3 or 4 years ago where there weren't so many just great ones, you know? And I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed, I think. So many great figures, so little space and money. I know. And I know I'll be able to catch up on all this stuff in the future, but ooh, then what's going to come out in the meantime, you know? Because things are just getting better. I actually just canceled my Raptor, Road Pig, and movie Colossus. Got to cover my 4 Horsemen Frankenstein creatures. How many did you get, Brick? That thing was awesome. Okay. I entered the BBTS drawing. I had to do a quick count, and I had to say I have roughly 800 6-inch figures. That doesn't count my 1/18th. Ooh, see that? See that? I just turned 4-inch and 3.75-inch into 1/18th. I'm a mathematician. I'm not. Don't ever listen to me with math, but that's pretty insane, man. That's awesome. I would love to see the display. pop, 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 pop. And there I go. I'm going back to like when things are just happening on G1. See, understood, Brick. Sad, but totally understand. Yep. And that's something else. Then they talk about, like, Tragic was in here, is in here talking about that ubiquitous diorama. Got to get that. Then the Musk is coming. It's just, that's the overwhelm. Is just, there's just so much good stuff. I kind of wish it were just mediocrity overload, but it's not. Worth it, Brick. Frankenstein's creature looks so good. It does, man. And it's a totally different take. I've never seen Frankenstein look like that. And yet it's recognizable as him, especially when you see all the accessories. Yes, I was just charged for the vamp. Nicely done, Lord Galvatron, man. That's a beautiful vehicle. One counterpoint, focus on the most two you connected lines. Let's see. Photograph what you have or enjoy them before worrying about all the new hotness. For me too, articulation, price, quality, and collect need. Yep. And that's good. That's awesome. But that's the thing too. Like, one of the reasons I collect is to take all these photos. And I've almost got the whole collection cataloged, as far as, like, I think in the video description of this video, I've got the collection page, the Toypixx collection page. And there aren't a lot of figures that I haven't shot and put on there yet. There are a few, but I can probably knock those out in another week or two and be totally done. So, okay, now it's just kind of recycling and taking more shots of those. But at the same time, as somebody who's doing this stuff on X, on YouTube and all that, I also need to kind of try to keep a little more up to date than what I've been doing recently. Like, I can't just be picking up, I can't just be taking pictures of, here he is, just because he's fun, just because he's the man, of MAFEX Bruce Wayne drinking coffee all the time, you know? You know I love this figure, but as much as I love this figure, this can't be all the photos and the figures I've got in there. It can't all be Wolverines. It can't all be Turtles. It can't all be this Batman, you know, stuff like that. So I do have to try and keep up a little better, but you're absolutely with it when it comes to photography. And I'm more of I've become, I've been a figure snob, but I'm a lot more quality over quantity than I have been in the past. Like, I used to have, I can't remember how many Marvel Legends I used to have, but a lot of them. And don't get me wrong, there were some quality pieces in there. But after getting this MAFEX Batman, I looked up at those figures and I'm just like, why do I have so many different versions of the same 6 molds, you know? So that became a thing for me, is no, let's focus on a little more quality and see what can happen here. What happens is, when you focus on quality, you're obviously spending more money, and your figure collection contracts substantially. What the plastic? My wallet died 2 weeks ago and I'm trying to revive it. Keep your wallet out of the knife drawer, because here's what I've learned from mine. If you do get it revived and it goes near the knife, it's going to try to stab you. So keep it away from the knife drawer, because I don't know, maybe I just have an unusually angry wallet. Flatline 2K6. I found myself kind of obligated to classified only because I've asked for that scale with my figures for the longest. And it's like they not only heard me, but chucked them all in my face. They did, man. For Hasbro stuff, classified is easily my favorite line that they've got going. And like, they do it so well. My only problem with classified, genuinely, I don't like that we're just getting upscaled versions of the 80s stuff. I'd prefer that they move a little more forward with the design or the look of the figures. But my only real problem is they don't come with extra hands. And so many other companies are doing that. But yeah, when they decided to do classified, and the figures themselves, like, when I listen to Lenny talk about all the decisions that go into those figures, I'm like, oh, wow, they have really thought of everything. Like, to the point where I am sure that the reason they don't come with extra hands is totally down to the accountants. I am sure that Lenny and everybody else on that team wants to give us extra hands. They just can't for, money reasons. Especially when they see so many other people giving us extra hands, The female figures are an easy mod to fix the torso issue. I do it on all mine. Jinx is a good figure. So what do you do, Mr. Matson? Do you just kind of Dremel out the front a little bit, like the front where her waist is, like where it meets the ball peg, just so you can get a little more lean? Like you don't actually, I assume you Dremel the inside front, but I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe even the inside of the torso, like the part. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking here? I'm thinking the lower abdomen part. You Dremel that back a little bit. And I'm assuming, obviously, you want to get the part that's underneath the waistline. Is that what you do? Because I've never seen a video on it. I'm sure I could find something. I've just never really looked, because I've got a Dremel tool and all the things. I just don't want to, I don't want to hurt something. I am worried about hurting a figure. Also, what did I focus on growing up? Those first, and then a new line if it hits a big time need, like Brutal Realms. Let's see. Dabble in AWOC. Yep. Anthropomorphic Kick recently. Foray, etc. But not everything. Yeah, because Stabby. Mr. Stabby's an angry wallop, man. But I get it. Like, that was something that was ruling me too, is, okay, let's just collect what I know. The problem is, what I know isn't stuff like Action Force and Monster Force and AWOC and all that stuff that you look at and just go, this stuff's amazing. Like, I'm genuinely looking at stuff that the indies are producing and thinking, I got to get in on more of that. But the indies aren't really producing the stuff that I grew up with. So then there's all that. There's that. I'm telling you, man. But I'm glad you got stuff that you've kind of figured out the order for. Because, I mean, the thing that got me thinking about this, I was on my phone last night just typing in the figures that I need to catch up on. And just Jada figures I'm looking at, and I'm going, I need like 30 of these things. That's a lot of figures. And then I was looking at Threezero, which the DLX, I don't need as many, but they're obviously much pricier, especially the Seekers. And then I was looking at MAFEX. Again, I don't need very many, but they're also pricier than Jada. So, man, it gets rough out here, guys. This whole money thing and spending and trying to decide where it goes, it's tough. All right, LBZ, I appreciate that, man. Skew Raider, facts on fix, especially Jinx. Much better figure when you do that. All right, hopefully I'll get my answer as I scroll, I am sure. Brick, Skew Raider, did you see the Memory Toys Tiger shared today? Memory Toys did a tiger? I may have to find that. PRP. Let's see. Multiples of the body. Got it, Brick. Got it. That's a cool, yeah, it's a good looking figure. I do like their Figura Obscura stuff. I mean, I like a lot of their stuff. But if I were to say, okay, I'm just going to get this little part, Figura Obscura would probably be it. Oh, no. Is there something we need to find here, Brick? A Memory Toys Tiger, is that right? How many did you get? There is another drop this week. Oh, no, really? Ah. Harry, I'm finally redoing my display case. Somehow I have 39 Mezco figures. How the hell did that happen? Very nice, Harry. Very nice. What's been the main focus of your Mezco stuff? And by that, do you really have a focus? Like, is that something that you try to stay? So, like, I'm looking at Mezco and going, okay. People are saying I have to get the Crow. I've heard multiples say I need to get Destro. But overall, I'm looking at them thinking, okay, let me just find the Rumble Society that I like and grab those. Do you have that kind of thing going on where you focus on one and then just end up with a couple from other lines or other properties, I guess I should say? I think what it all comes down to is focus. But that's tough with all the good things out there. There are two movies with father kind of straight from the book look. Let's see, Frankenstein in 1994. Oh, with Frankie kind of straight from the book look. So is the Frankenstein that I know incorrect, like the classic with the really short hair and all that stuff and the bolt sticking out of his neck? Is that not necessarily how Frankenstein's supposed to look? And yes, that's the official Frankenstein impression. Brick, let's see. I'm following Dorklair's lead and going to use the Hagnon head on one and the Iron Mask head from Marley on another. Little crew of reanimated brawlers. Oh, that is one thing I gotta give Mythics, man. All the customizing is insane. I just saw the Real Monsters set by Mondo. Uh-oh. Oh no. There's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to look at, isn't there? Why you guys do this to me? I think we all do, Mr. Madsen. Let's see. Yep, at least you, Raider, and I do. Let's see. I grew up with Joe, classified. I see Action Force as an extension of it. Jada is on the list too. Advertisement mascots and Street Fighter Fire. I love the mascots, man. Chester Cheetah is so much fun. And I'd forgotten, like when I was making that list of the Jada figures last night, I totally forgot about the cereal monsters. And I'm like, oh no, I have to catch up on cereal monsters because Jada. Like I said, guys, Jada and MAFEX. I feel like they're great lines to see the evolution of how the lines ended up happening and how they just kept getting better as they went along. That's why I like them so much. And I mean, Jada especially just started out crushing it. I know Mafex way back when had a lot of QC problems, but that's one of the reasons I want to get them both. Is their figures now are just so good that I like knowing where they started, kind of where they came from, and how it's going. There's a little bit of Forrest Gump in there, I think. Where they going, where they been. You can tell a lot about somebody by the shoes. See, can't wait for Jada's Scooby Doo figures. I know, man. The one line I might be a completionist on. That's one thing. Like, that's what Jada is masterful at, right? I loved playing Street Fighter when I was younger, but not so much where I'm like, oh, I need toys of this. I just really enjoyed the game. Then Jada releases these incredible toys, and next thing I know, I just want them. They're that good. And I have a feeling Scooby Doo is going to be the same. Like, I grew up watching Scooby Doo. I enjoyed Scooby Doo, but I never thought I need toys of Scooby Doo. But Jada's making them. So I'll probably end up needing toys of Scooby Doo. That's the power of a great toy company. Grizzlehorn. I get all the figure obscura. I love that line, but let's see, but I'll dabble in the Mythic Legions, but still dabble in the Mythic Legions. They look good, man. I can't wait. I know Valiant Knight has better articulation. I can't wait till they go just a little further. Well, maybe I can, because then there will be more amazing figures that I'll be like, oh no, what do I do? Harry, I am in the same boat. So many Mezco boys. Miss Cogsmith, my NECA Predator collection just phased into existence. Like suddenly it's just there. You don't know how it got there. And it's funny because phasing, as well. Who would have foreseen? It is. I haven't had anything get sneaky like that yet, but I foresee that at some point. That's always funny. I think my Legends did that eventually at one point. Nolan, that's the Universal Frankenstein. Right. Okay. Okay. So the one that the Four Horsemen made is actually what one would think of when it comes to reading the book, then, right? Because truly, like, I'd never seen that version. So I guess that's my assumption at this point. Grizzlehorn, the Marley extra head is awesome. Yeah, I remember seeing Marley. And me? No, don't ever watch that. Don't ever watch that movie. That's bad juju. Let's see. Rumble Society are the must. Always looking for a great deal on the Facebook groups. Awesome, Harry. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. And I figure that must be then where your focus goes. See, we must share in the overwhelming. Thanks a lot. Guys are so mean. Groovy me. I'm waiting for Jada's Scooby line. Yep, I think a lot of us are. I'm waiting for that, and I want to see how far they go with Cyberpunk. I watched that cartoon or that anime, whatever it was. It was sweet. It was grisly, but it was cool. I heard that with MAFEX that they got better. They and NECA in the beginning for me crumbled to pieces. I never got any of the earlier MAFEX stuff that I kept hearing that stuff about. We got, let's see, the first one I got was this MAFEX Batman, and he's been fantastic, except I think the wire has slipped out from under his cowl. And I wasn't touching NECA until I started hearing people say, like, I remember people saying that the Bebop and Rocksteady set when it first came out would just snap. And I was like, I can't be bothering with NECA if that kind of stuff's going to happen. And once people started saying, no, they're getting a lot better, then I thought, all right, I'll give NECA a try. And I love everything I've gotten from them. And let's see, I'm looking right now. I keep them on the desk because my only other option would be putting them in drawers, and they've got too much paint for that. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It looks like 17 NECA figures. Is that right? 16 NECA figures. And every single one of them is awesome. And 8 of those are from 2-packs. I've got the Usagi Year of the Rabbit 2-pack, and I've got the Mirage Turtles 4-pack, and I've got the Mirage Turtles 4-pack as well. But yeah, everything NECA does, I've loved all of it that I bought, and I'm like MAFEX. If I could only collect one line, it would be MAFEX. So I would say they've definitely gotten a lot better than what I would hear early on. And what sounds like everybody heard early on. Scooby Jada line and Tony the Tiger. Jada adding to. Yeah, man. Tony, I need Tony as well. He's going to be awesome. I'm looking even at the Jada repaints for like Street Fighter 2. I'm looking at the Flaming Hot Chester. Like, I say I'm not a completionist, and I'm not, but sometimes a company just needs to be rewarded. And so I keep looking at them like, man, do I go all in, or do I just stick to, say, the exclusives and the player one versions? I don't know. Like with Chun-Li, you have to get the exclusive and the player one version, or you don't have a complete player one version. So it gets tough. But that Tony the Tiger, I love the way that they did his basketball effect. Ghost Tav, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Mr. Matson, I'm going to have to get 3 of each Scooby-Doo figure. One for my daughter, one for my wife's collection, and one for me. Man, that's a lot of Scooby. That's all right, though, because we all know that they're going to be amazing. So here's a question about the Scooby line, guys. Ready? Ready? Here we go. You know that if Jada goes deep, and they're showing that they're willing to go pretty deep in their licenses, if they go deep, are you getting scrappy? That's a big time question right there. It's probably the most important question I've ever asked on here, honestly. Oh, eep. I feel like Letterman there. Hey, hey. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. If I ever did. Hello, Kyrus. Thank you for stopping by, man. We're just talking about the overwhelm that is today's action figure collecting because so many are so good. Ghost Have, happy day. I got my pop-up parade Overlord, and I'm getting my Chainsaw Man Figuarts Makima tomorrow. Ooh, I just saw Makima. Like, I was looking through some stuff and saw her today. She looks really cool. Chainsaw Man, just that design. Like, I want to check out Chainsaw Man from SHF just for that design. And I totally have to get Monkey D. Luffy. This is my problem, people. Like, what we've done in the West when it comes to action figures is we have recycled our old properties over and over and over again, right? In the East, like Japanese figures, it's possible they've done the same thing, but I don't know those characters. So I'm looking a lot at trying to get into anime a little more, just so I have something new to check out. And Chainsaw Man would certainly fall in that. Monkey D. Luffy, though, that guy, like, his name's Monkey. How could I go wrong? And everybody says One Piece is pretty cool. Skew Raider, speaking of Scooby, that Scooby Mystery Machine might be worth grabbing before that Jada line drops if you didn't grab it yet. What scale was that for? I remember seeing it, but I don't remember. Yeah, I'm not sure. And remember that at least as far as the Street Fighter 2 figures, they did make the figures so they're just bigger than 1/6 scale. So I don't know if the Mystery Machine would fit or not. And I'm sorry, 1/12 scale. And they made them just bigger than that because they intentionally made them to fit in with Marvel Legends for Marvel versus Capcom. Ghost have, hola, Nolan. All right, you said hello, but, you know, me reading comprehension, things get weird. Flatline, I may try a MAFEX or 2 down the line. However, the main priority are Transformers, Classified, and any NECA Turtle stuff. Though Jada Street Fighter figures takes 4th priority now. Yeah, they're great figures. Everything you listed there, like the Transformers, I want to get back into Hasbro a little bit. Like I was looking at a lot of Cybertron stuff or like legacy figures that were based on Cybertron and based on War for Cybertron. Just looking at them like, those are really cool. But I hear that when I was getting Transformers, I stopped getting the line because of Earthrise in the first round of Studio Series 86 because the tolerances were either way too loose or way too tight. And I thought, well, this isn't right. And now I hear the tolerances are a lot better, but the plastic isn't as good. So I don't know about jumping into Transformers. Everything else you listed, though, awesome. And by the way, Flatline, let me know what you think when it comes to the plastic quality of the Turtles. Or I'm sorry, of the Transformers. Because maybe you can say, no, man, it's all good now. Nolan, your assumption is correct. There it is again. Kyler, so yeah, I want that 4 Horsemen Frankenstein figure. The Victorian slab equipment is very good. And Nolan, I'm sure that's what you're speaking of. So thank you very much. Because yeah, it makes me sad that I don't know what what Frankenstein actually was supposed to look like. It's happening, Miss Cogsmith. Coping or not, we are sharing the overwhelming. It's all so good. Like, this is a golden age. Like, all the stuff and all the indies coming out of it, making such cool stuff. It's almost unfair. It's really not nice of them, is what it is. Kyrus, I'm hoping for a MAFEX Green Goblin. Man, if MAFEX took over all the IP, I'd be good. Like, I'm that guy. I don't even know what I would say. Like, I think the rest of X-Men Blue and Gold is rumored. I know a Spider-Man 2.0 is rumored. So if anybody has been looking at getting a MAFEX Spider-Man, I'd maybe hold off just a little bit. Like, it's just a rumor. And we all know how MAFEX operates. It's a rumor now. Maybe we see a prototype next year, and maybe the pre-order goes up a year after that. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take to materialize, if the rumor's credible at all. But it's just something to keep in mind if you're thinking of picking up a MAFEX Spider-Man, is maybe just think about it a little longer and hold off just a little bit and see if any news comes down the pike. But yeah, I would go nuts for Green Goblin. I would go nuts for like any superposable figure. And now that they did Bane, any huge figure, like all of it is good to me. Harry, are we the YouTube version of Toys Anonymous? Toys Anonymous? Oh no. Maybe. Maybe this is where we all sit here and we're just like, yes, we need our 12-step program, please. Yes, red stapler. That was a terrible Milton, by the way. I shouldn't do impressions sometimes. Early MAFEX wasn't that good. It definitely got better when they started doing comic book version figures. That's what it looked like to me, too. Like, the first one that really hit that people seemed stoked about was the first comic Spider-Man. And I missed out on that and regretted it for a long time until I got the classic colors one. And then I became happy. Yes, that's all it took. It just took classic colors Spider-Man. Sorry about that, Skew. See, catch up on toys. Toy Waves Anonymous. Oh, man. What other lines do you guys have to catch up on? Or has everybody been able to pretty much keep up with what they needed to keep up with? Flatline, they're right. I have the first set, and they just recently crumbled in the thigh. The revised set now uses ball joints in the thighs. Okay. Oh, wow. So maybe that's a little better. Okay, I own early MAFEX. Batman versus Superman figure, and the paint job and capes were cheap and joints would break if not heated early. Wow. So see, maybe what I want to do is get the early stuff, like start loading up with the very first ones and just basically take them out and either just heat them like mad with a hairdryer or a heat gun and then mess with them some and never touch them again, or just pull them out of the package and never touch them again. Like, I need my crazy MAFEX display. At least for the last over 100, they've been doing much better, because that first Spider-Man was 75, and they're in the 2 teens or 220s right now. So they improved, I'd say, quite a bit. Mezco should make the Scooby and the Gang and the Mystery Machine. Oh, see, for price, I bet Mezco would do a great job, actually, with all that stuff. But for price, I think I want Jada doing the Mystery Machine, just because I know what they're able to do. Well, I don't know about vehicles, though. I guess I shouldn't say that. Jada is the very first modern toy line to do what no other line has done with a Street Fighter license, and that's commit and finish the entire first line. Yeah, and that's amazing. Like, and what's funny to me is they started going and people knew what they were going to do, and suddenly they're like, oh, hey, we have the Street Fighter license as well. We should probably start releasing more figures. And by then, I have to think it's too late. Like, I have to think that SHF isn't going to sell near as many units as Jada, even with the price difference. Even if they sold, like, what is it? An SHF figures maybe 3 times what Jada's cost, which means that to be the same as Jada and all that stuff, although tooling might be a little more because of more accessories, more movement, and all that, but they'd have to sell 3 times as many as Jada had to sell. And I just don't see that with the price that Jada's doing. So I'm not sure that it's almost like I have said a couple times that I don't think there's a point to making a comic version of Gambit after the MAFEX Gambit was made. And I really don't. That thing is perfection. I almost don't think there's a point to anybody else trying to do at least Street Fighter 2 when it comes to the Street Fighter series. Yes, I need Scrappy. All right, we have one. I wasn't sure how that question would go. I wasn't sure what people would say about Scrappy. Flatline, yep, and Scrappy will indeed be in trouble when I get one. Oh, man. All right, so maybe the Scrappy hate isn't as large as you hear online. The Jar Jar hate is, but the Scrappy hate maybe not. Oh, you just had to. I'm thinking if they do Scrappy, I'll get them. I had to. I had to, Nolan. It was necessary. And I had to sell it too. I had to sit there and pretend I was thinking really hard. Rick, Scooby Dum, Scooby D, Yabba Grandpa, let's go. Wow. Okay, I thought I was going nuts with Scrappy. I completely forgot about Scooby Dum. And maybe Scooby D's. Grandpa, okay, I'm there. Yabba. Oh no, there's way too much that I forgot. Jada could go nuts. Jada could get into Flintstones. Now that you're saying all that, Jada could get into Jetsons. Jada is like the perfect company for that kind of stuff. I still think that what Jada really needs to do is get into Looney Tunes. I want Looney Tunes characters so badly. And Jada has proven with figures like Chester Cheetah, they're the company to do it. Ghost Tab, going deep on the Scooby-Doo line would be adding his mentally challenged cousin with red hat, pup named Scooby-Doo. Is that when Scooby dumb? Whew. We go in with the overwhelm and there's people chatting because we're all overwhelmed with all the cool. Nice. More Hanna-Barbera from Jada, maybe. Thundar, Herculoids, Johnny Quest, and yes to Scrappy. Don Knotts from Scooby would be awesome. And Scooby D and Scooby Dum and Jerry Reed, Cass Elliot too, if they go there. Wow. Oh, wow. They could go nuts. Like, imagine Jada doing, I remember a lot the Globetrotters episodes. Or Jada gets a license to do the Hanna-Barbera versions of the Super Friends, and then you mix in Batman and Robin with Scooby-Doo. Hello, JP Animates 24. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. Ooh, words when I get stoked because I'm seeing names I don't recognize, man. Cool beans, cool beans. That's right. Cool beans. Yes, Brick, especially Scooby Dum. Oh, man. Clearly, I am not the Scooby Doo aficionado that I thought I was. Brick, I started One Piece last year on episode 215. I was listening to somebody today that said that they have watched, they said it's so engaging and it felt like it was crazy overwhelming because there were so many, but they said it's so engaging it doesn't even matter. So yeah, I might need to get in on that. Barely starting. I know you're not even a quarter of the way through. great. Googly moogly. It's 1/12 scale. The Mystery Machine Scoob line was in Walmart mainly. Okay, got it, Skew. Thank you. I was trying to remember because I think I did see it at one point, but I wasn't sure. Scooby Doo, like I said, that kind of thing isn't generally on my radar until Jada says, "Hey, we're doing Scooby Doo." Then it's on my radar. Harry, Hanna-Barbera, Johnny Quest, and Space. Oh, Space Ghost. Okay, they could do Johnny Quest, but Space Ghost would be key. I got the one years ago. What was it? Was it Toonami? No, Toynami? I can't remember the line, but I had a Space Ghost that came with a red desk with a yellow tabletop, and it was awesome. I don't know what I did with that, which means I probably sold it. Windforce, good to see you, man. Hello, fellow toy friends. What is going on? See, try Yolopark G1 Transformers Toypixx. I've seen them, Kyrus. I think my line for Transformers right now is MDLX, but I do like the look of the Yolopark stuff. I like that it's not so slavishly G1, that there's like some nicks and scrapes and a little bit of added paint. I really like that aspect of it. So I'll probably end up trying them at some point. But right now, MDLX has my designer's heart. Just because they're newer designs, I think. Heck yes to all Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers Looney Tunes. Yeah. Does Warner Brothers own Hanna-Barbera now? Or was I just totally making something up and completely misremembering something else? Space Ghost! He's all spacey and ghosty. And then if we're doing like the Space Ghost Coast to Coast, he needs his little buddy with him too, like a 2-pack. Yes to Space Ghost. Jada could make that. Oh, Jada would make that an exclusive, and then we'd all be angry. Why, Jada? Why? Johnny Quest, one-eyed spy spider bot. Make it happen. Spy spider bot, or is it just spider bot? I don't remember Johnny Quest so well, actually. So I got nothing on that one. Obviously, I seem to not remember Scooby-Doo all that well either. Miss Cogsmith, ahoy there, Windforce. Or, turn it back around, Windforce, ahoy there. I just keep butchering everybody's words. You're welcome. MAFEX Batman Beyond is on my wish list. Oh, that would be a fantastic figure. Has everybody seen the Reveltech Batman Beyond that's out there right now? Like the pictures of that? I think I showed them on Preternia's site. That thing looks amazing. Oh, and it's Terry McGinnis. So if it's a little smaller than the rest of the collection, it's probably not that big a deal. See, that Spider-Bot Johnny Quest would be killer. This is me not knowing things. I'm a bad nerd. This is the opposite of Toys Anonymous. This is the equivalent of Toy Cheers or Toy Opium Den. Now I'm feeling good. It is. Maybe that's it. Toy Cheers. Where everybody knows your problems. Everybody knows your name too, but really it's always the toy collecting problems. G.I. Joe for sure. Action Force, Jada, LOL, everything. LOL, got to catch up on. I know, man. I know. It's insane. Never make a list of what you have to catch up on, Skew Raider. That's where you get in trouble. That's when you come up with ideas like this for a live stream. I'm behind on Macross, Chogokin, let's see, and Hot Toys Superior Spider-Man, Batman Returns. I'm saving for Doom. I saw that picture, like that they were teasing Doctor Doom. Oh man. Somebody one day is going to come up with the definitive Doctor Doom if Mezco hasn't already. And I'm going to go nuts for that figure. Kairos Hot Toys is starting to make more and more comic figures. Scary how expensive that is going to get. I'm staying in 112 X-Men. I know, man. Like, I can't even, if I get Hot Toys or Sideshow or anything like that, it's going to be because mom went out and bought Grogu's. And I'm going to be like, here, mom, have a Din Djarin. I don't want it. You need to keep it because I can't have that here or I'll go crazy. And that would be bad. As bad as losing the list. I'm just waiting for BBTS to charge me for my Mezco Duke. Then I'll be all set. That Duke looks good, Tragic. Ooh, so tough. But is Duke going on the wall, or are you going to do something? You know what you need? You need to set up explosions with Duke. Like Duke can be that ultimate 80s action hero. So you make like the explosion background, and he's just walking away from it like the man, like, I'm Duke. I don't know what that was. But yeah, he's just walking away from it all calmly, like, yeah, I just made things go boom. What you got? Skew Raider Ramen 2, the Marshall is an amazing figure. Eyeing the Musk, the vehicles, and 3030. What's 3030? Oh no. That's right. So we've got the Musk we talked about. The vehicles look amazing. Like the vans look sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Overwhelm. Some plastic for Transformers still needs work. There is yellowing still with some figures, but I'm glad none of them I own suffer from GPS. What's the G? I think the PS is plastic syndrome, but it's been a while. Gold plastic syndrome, where it just kind of falls apart. Ghost Tab, Jada has done the 1/24th scale Mystery Machine. They just need to use plastic instead and working doors. Oh man. Jada has so many licenses too. Like they've done the 136th, I believe, as well. So they should be able to at least try and say, hey, we sold a bunch of these. How about you let us do this at this scale? Still waiting on my Marshall. Ordered at PowerCon last year. Should be any day now. Oh. I never got into Brave Star so much. And by so much, I vaguely remember the cartoon. Toy Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Clink. All right. My. No. Nolan, nice brick. I'm still waiting for mine as well. So many Marshalls. Let's see. One of the best figures, let's see, ever had. The Marshall. Love it. Trying to read on the side. You guys are chatty. Awesome. I appreciate that. Awesome, Skew Raider. So looking forward to it. I think it looks great. I'm sorry, as an owner of the SHF Street Fighter figures, I feel they can hang it up if they refuse to commit and do better. They didn't finish the line, and here they are releasing 2 recolors and Guile. Yeah, that's true. The Ryu and the Chun-Li are just recolors, aren't they? That's kind of where, like, I just don't think, from an economic standpoint, I would think when you can get the figures for 25 bucks here, that if you're in Japan, you can still get them at a much lower price point if you order overseas, like from us. But they'd probably be able to order direct from China. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Jada Daffy Duck would be my Looney Tunes grail. Oh, that would be sweet. I need a Taz. I need a Daffy. I need a Bugs. I need them all. Like, that's what's up. So the other night I was talking about Muppets versus Sesame Street. And you all know, if you were here the other night, where I stand, Muppets all the way. So I have 3 questions to determine whether or not a person is cool or not. And one of them is Muppets or Sesame Street. You know the answer there. Star Wars or Star Trek. I mean, come on. That one for sure is Star Wars. And the other one is Looney Tunes or Disney characters. Looney Tunes all the way. So you got to get at least 2 out of 3. Otherwise, I'm just like, I'm going to have to just turn around and walk away, being horribly rude the way that I am. Those are the real tests to determine if somebody's worth my time. I would lose it if Jada does the Harlem Globetrotters. Those are the ones I remember the most. I remember them and Batman and Robin. I think that's them. And then I think Skew Raider brought up Don Knotts. I remember him showing up too. But like Jada doing anything Hanna-Barbera and suddenly they're doing Super Friends, I think that would be hilarious. I'm in episode, let's see, 1120 of One Piece. If you skip the opening, you can do 10 minutes per episode. Sweet. You might have given us that tip before, Ghost Tab. I know somebody came in here and said, yeah, you can get rid of a lot of it just by skipping around. Skew Raider, Toynami. Okay, all right, Skew Raider, thank you. I appreciate it. I thought when I was thinking about it, I thought that was right, but you know, you're never sure, especially that long ago. People who hit the like button and share the channel become 58% more attractive than others. Clearly, I better hit the like button. Anyway, I appreciate it, Harry. Thank you. Yes, don't hit it, though. Don't hit it. Be gentle, because you'll want it there for the next live stream as well. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, man. All right, we're moving right along. Say, I bought the glow-in-the-dark Space Ghost from Mezco. I think they did regular and glow-in-the-dark. I did not know. I wonder if I knew at the time. I don't remember that Mezco did glow-in-the-dark or did Space Ghost. But I must have known at the time. I don't know. I've been keeping up on this stuff for a while. How about this as a suggestion? Jada does Looney Tunes right. I would love it. I would absolutely love it, Flatline. That would be a dream line for me. Bugs Bunny, just a Bugs Bunny. I mean, obviously, I'd want way more, but if I could get a great Bugs Bunny, I would be stoked. And then do an accessible, exclusive figure of Bugs, Daffy, Petunia, and Taz as their Super Toon variants as an homage to the Happy Meal figures. Oh, from McDonald's, the Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Flash. That would be amazing, especially if they got the Super Friends license, which, honestly, if they get Looney Tunes, then they've got an in with Warner Brothers, who the people at Warner Brothers understand the importance of the DC characters. Oh, man. Now you're just speaking my language all the way. Ghost Tab, let's see, and Birdman. It's been so long since I've thought of him. Mezco Space Ghost was fired to both versions. How do I not remember Mezco Space Ghost? Great, googly moogly. Skew Raider, Ghost Tab, Bring 'em On, Birdman, My Tour. They can reuse some bodies with Space Ghost. Oh, man. Would Birdman would qualify. He'd be a reuse. Jada. Rick, someday Google Alex Toth, Hanna-Barbera, and you realize how much our childhoods were owed to 2 people, Alex Toth and Jack Kirby. I knew Jack Kirby. Alex Toth, I've heard the name, but I couldn't have told you why. So I will totally look him up. I appreciate it, Brick. Skew. Yup. Yeah, now I definitely need to look him up. And then if Jada went nuts and we got an Alex Toth figure, then I could have him hang out with my NECA Jack figure. I still need most of the NECA Puppet Master puppets. Ooh, I only got Pinhead and Tunneler. Dude, okay, groovy me. Here's the deal for me. I didn't do much when it came to horror growing up, but the one figure that I want, well, there are several of the NECA figures that I want from their horror line. One of them is just Pinhead. I don't know why. Like that thing, Freddy never freaked me out just looking at pictures. Jason never freaked me out. Pinhead freaked me out. The Hellraiser style guy. Ooh, man. And I'm guessing that's not the same Pinhead you're talking about. But yeah, that was me. I was looking at a bunch of the horror figures yesterday and just going, I need Pinhead. I need Pinhead. Flatline, I just have to catch up on a few Transformers from Legacy. Walmart exclusive and 86 Studio Series Optimus. That Optimus, I wasn't sure at first because of the way he was photographed. He looked like a really flat figure. But I've seen photographs where people are shining the lights on his windows, like on his chest. It looks amazing when you light him up really well. Oh my gosh. I can't push buttons. Harry, I want the Mezco Doctor Doom to put on my Mythic Legions bear. Yep. I think we've chatted about that. And then you need Flower so you can make him riding Cocaine Bear. That would be fun. Brick 3030 is the Anthro Cyborg horse partner. Okay, got it, Brick. Thank you. That sounds crazy. Things I need to think about here. Got it. Thank you, Flatline. Let's see, where am I at here? Gold plastic syndrome. That's what I was. Okay. Shoot. Jada should do Fat Albert. Her. I don't know that Bill Cosby gets a figure these days. And we appreciate you, Dave. Oh, thank you, Miss Cogsmith. I'm sure that was because I was sitting there saying, you guys are so mean. Tyrus Toypixx, remember the cartoon Galaxy Rangers? I don't remember the cartoon Galaxy Rangers. I remember a lot of stuff, but not that one. See, I'm telling you, I don't think Bill Cosby makes it into the toy or into the action figure aisle anytime soon. Ghost Tab, ordering from Japan can be cheaper. Depends on the brand. Figuarts, it's cheaper, but MAFEX shipping costs more than Figuarts for some reason. Okay. I wonder, it's got to just be the size of the box because I've gotten a couple Figuarts that, I got the Luke Skywalker from Mandalorian, and that box was a lot smaller than what we usually get from MAFEX. So there's that. If MAFEX could find a way to make the boxes smaller, I'd be pretty excited about that. Flatline, ordering from across seas is a good option, but the shipping, depending, can be a bad wedgie on the wallet. Yeah. I mean, ordering overseas, I do much better ordering from like a Hobby Genki or an Ami Ami as far as price is concerned, sometimes by like 30 or 40 bucks than I do from ordering domestically for something like a MAFEX figure. So for me, it's almost a no-brainer to order from overseas. For instance, Captain America will come from Ami Ami and all that good stuff. But what I was wondering is like ordering, if you're in Japan already, how much would it cost them to get, say, a Jada Street Fighter figure versus getting an SHF Street Fighter figure, even if you factor in shipping? Though I would say at that point, Jada's going to come with less stuff. So I'm just curious. Although, to your guys' credit, what you brought up is the fact that Jada is at least going deep. They're going to finish the line, which is awesome. I hope someone picks up the license for Hanna-Barbera. Herculoids and Birdman would be sick. They would be sick, Toy Odyssey. I need, yeah, that would be so, man, yeah. And Jada needs to be the one to get some of that stuff. They've just proven they can do that kind of stuff already, you know? I would have the Harlem Globetrotters take on the starting lineups. Well, the thing is, man, the Harlem Globetrotters would be articulated. They could actually do it. If we're talking about what McFarlane does as far as their sports picks, I have some old school McFarlane sports picks, like from the 49ers from way back when. I've got a Jerry Rice, a Joe Montana, and a Ronnie Lott. And they're awesome to look at, but they do nothing. And then I was in my mom's office the other day, and there are some starting lineups that my dad had that I was looking at. And I'm like, they barely move. Like, he had a pitcher named Jack Morris from the Tigers, and his arm does this. Like that's it. So I think the Harlem Globetrotters would have a better chance over the starting lineups, especially considering the starting lineups from today. There were only like 8 of them. And did you guys get those? I'm curious about that because I think most people just didn't, which is why we don't hear about them anymore. In fact, I just talked about sports picks and starting lineups while forgetting that they did some NBA starting lineups recently for Hasbro. So basically, ignore that last tirade, is what I'm saying. See, the Toy Odyssey, hope it's Jada. They have Scooby. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, Jada seems able to do what other companies just can't or won't do. Everybody else wants their super realistic proportions and everything else. Jada's like, nah, hold my beer, Chester Cheetah. Mezco also did the twins from Space Ghost, and yes, even Chimp was included on the set. Nice. The twins from Space Ghost, though, were they? I'm thinking of when you said the twins and what was it, the Chimp? Why am I thinking? I'm thinking of the one, not the Wonder Twins. Which ones were the ones that they were in purple suits? Is that who I'm thinking of? And like Gleek the monkey? I'm assuming that's not what you're going with. I don't remember the twins from Space Ghost. What I was remembering was Super Friends stuff. Like, I was always into superheroes, even though we find out later that that wasn't the best superhero show. Let's see. I need a new Thunder. Superperian. I heard Skew Raider, so cool. I'm just going to read all the comments in like weird voice. Skew Raider, yes, either Jada and or Brutal Realms for Thunder. All right, I'm going to stop that now. But that's what I'm saying. Brutal Realm looks amazing, right? I want to get that. I need to order that the Darth Vader looking one from BBTS. And then I want to order some Shadars from BBTS. Steve Ditko also contributes a lot. I know, man. I don't know that we'll ever get a Steve Ditko anything as far as figures are concerned. I would love to, though. Like, I've got the Stan and Jack. I've done a couple pictures with them. I think my favorite one I did with them was I did a shot of Galactus rounding the corner of a building, and you saw Stan and Jack looking out the windows. That was my favorite picture with Stan and Jack that I've done so far. But I love that I can take pictures with Stan and Jack now. Right on, Ghost Tab. Yeah, for One Piece, I start episodes at the 2-minute mark and after the title screen and end before the final song. Basically 17 to 20-minute episodes. Awesome sauce. Things I need to consider. Let's see. For sure on Ditko, yeah. I know more about the comic side of things than I do the animation side of things. The top proportions on that new studio series movie Prime look off to me. Like it looks too squat. I don't know. The one that throws me off is the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime design. Like we were talking about a little bit on the stream, and it's almost like all the bulk was just moved all the way up here, including like the width of the arms and the width of the chest. And then he gets super skinny at the waist. And it just, for whatever reason, that design throws me off. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have yet to see Transformers 1, I highly recommend seeing Transformers 1. From what I understand, and I remember the first trailer, I remember it taking me a couple times to warm up to it, but then I like the idea of it. It is not at all a silly movie. Like, you guys want to see this movie if you haven't seen it yet. I mean, it's got jokes, but they know when to tone it down. Like, it was written very well. Just amazing how much Kirby did with Marvel, DC, Hanna-Barbera, Ruby Spears, etc. Kirby's the man. Like, it's insane what he did. Like, I know Stan, I think Stan deserves more credit. Everybody wants to give Kirby all the credit. Stan deserves a lot of credit for what he did. But the way Jack did so much, I mean, crazy prolific. And it's almost like Kirby was a Renaissance man. I mean, he's that good. He had stuff that was that amazing. So I don't know that you ever take anything away from him. See, time to start Dave Con. Oh no. That would be bad. Cocaine Bear completes the Marshall. Freedom Eagle, Hawk, and Timberwolf from Classified. Guinevere from D&D line. Panther, Puma. Nice. See, Gala Ranger was sick. Space Sheriff with technology-based power. Galaxy Rangers, right? I truly, what is it? Robo talks about how he doesn't remember Silverhawks at all. Like they're like just a figment. They didn't actually happen. That's how I'm feeling about Galaxy Rangers right now. I've heard the two words combined, but that's it. Galaxy Rangers for sure needs a line too. Ramen maybe. Realm Toys. Jada. Someone will hopefully do it. 5K Toys? Yes, please. Man, there is so much I wish that people would do. And so much that it's probably a bad idea for them to do because who knows who'd really go nuts and how much of a market there'd be. Gallic, I had you go, Stab. No worries. Model kits definitely cost more overseas for shipping. Okay. And that makes sense because they're in such huge boxes, I would say. But then, like, it's kind of a combination, you know, it's the weight and the size of the box, and model kits aren't very heavy, so I don't know. Galaxy Rangers, maybe even Kato if the Cowboys line he's doing takes off. Let's see, Fresh Monkey Fiction is another option after Cops. All right, that's right, Fresh Monkey. Fresh Monkey Fiction, like their Monster Force stuff and all the other stuff they're doing, they're one of those new lines that I want to check out a lot of. Let's see, Thundar is on my wish list. Conan using a lightsaber and his best friend was a Morlock looking monster. I didn't get into Thundar so much, but when you put it that way, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. The one thing I hope down the line for Jada, and once they get all issues resolved for older figures, I would give anything for them to get the license for Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear? I don't know that I've heard of that. In fact, I know I haven't heard of that. Jan and Jace, twins, Space Ghost. Okay, I've heard of Jan and Jace. I'm still not sure I'm picturing them though. Maybe I didn't watch as much Hanna-Barbera as I thought I did. Jan and Zena, Wonder Twins. Okay. Because I heard Jason, I'm thinking Jason the Wheeled Warriors. Is that right? Yeah, I got the starting lineups, but I didn't get them at their current Hasbro price point. They wound up going to Marshalls, Ollie's, and TJ Maxx. Good man, good man. It would have been cool if they'd been able to make a few more, but those prices, I wasn't sure about the crossover, you know? Let's see. San and Jaina, my bad. Okay, okay, cool beans. The Wonder Twins were, let's see, Pules or War purple suits. That's right. The Space Ghost twins were a blonde chick and brunette dude wearing a Zorro mask. Their suits were yellow and blue. Okay, now I'm picturing them because okay, now I've definitely seen them. Thank you for the description, Ghost Staff. Yeah. I'm getting there now. Barely, but I'm getting there. NECA did a Steve Ditko based on his appearance in Mirage Comics TMNT. Really? What was that, Ghost Tav? Like, how long ago was that? I knew they did a Jack Kirby. I've got him. But I would love to know about that Ditko. Did anyone get the Marshall by Ramen Toy? I got mine the other day. Very cool figure. They were discussing the Marshall. Skew, it's awesome. Very smooth. Everything, man. Ace is a game changer, folks. Oh, right on. I'm curious about Transformers 1. It's good, Brick. It's good. It actually, like, I wasn't sure, but I am really excited about Transformers. So I wanted to check it out. It looked good, especially the last couple trailers. And I thought, okay, I'm going in. All the reviews were good. Like, the audience loves it and the critics love it. And I thought, all right, the audience that would have seen it are going to be Transformers fans. So let's see what happens. And I was kind of blown away. It was a really good movie. Sadly, the box office isn't reflecting that, but I kind of wonder if people are just like, is it going to be, there's a few factors. So you're kind of going, is it because it's a cartoon? There's a possibility that that's part of it. Or is it because Michael Bay did so much Transformers damage with his movies that the brand's still trying to recover? Or is it that Transformers is less relevant when it comes to kids today? I don't know. Most of that is bad. So hopefully good word of mouth gets more people in the theater to see this thing. But yeah, it was actually a pretty good movie. Flatline. I have seen it at 3 advanced screenings, and last Tuesday was at the red carpet premiere. I love that movie. Awesome. Flatline, that sounds incredible, man. I do want to check it out again before it's on DVD or on streaming and whatever other platforms it's going to be on, you know? Oh, sure. See, it's legit. Dave and another Transformers fan says it's a watch. I'm gonna check it out too. Yeah, Skew, it's really good. And I don't want to oversell that, you know, when somebody's sitting here and being like, oh, best movie ever. I'm not gonna say that. But I will say I love the 86 movie, and that one probably will always have the emotional win for me. But this yeah, you know what? Objectively, I would say this is the best Transformers movie. I think second best was probably I'm gonna just throw 86 out of the equation. Second best for me was probably Bumblebee, then the first one, then maybe Dark Side of the Moon or Dark of the Moon, but that was it. But yeah, Transformers 1, and they get Prime right. He's not Murder Prime. Check the Galaxy Rangers intro. Very cool looking. No guts, no glory. Maybe that sounds familiar. No guts, no glory. Was that in the theme song? Trumpeter makes some awesome Transformers model kits. Oh man, I haven't heard of them. I've looked at the Fu-Ray kits. I've seen those at Hobby Lobby. Been curious about them. And what was the one? Somebody just made like large Optimus and Megatron figures and then their vehicle counterparts as well. Wonder Toy or something. I just posted about it today because somebody asked about them. Let's see. Goose from Galaxy Ranger was modeled after Clint Eastwood. Easy buy. Nice. Yeah, now I kind of have to check that out. Galaxy Rangers was pretty good. I preferred Saber Riders and the Star Sheriffs, though. Oh man, I don't know those either. I'm gonna have to make that bad nerd shirt and just wear it for all the live streams. Dang it, stop moving, computer. If Jada wants to do Marvel versus Capcom, next logical move would be to do Darkstalkers. Oh man. They could get all kinds of stuff. Wasn't Strider in Marvel versus Capcom as well? Like they had all kinds of figures in there. Guilty Gear is a fighting game series developed by Arc System Works and created by Daisuke Ishiwatari. The first game was published in 1998. Wow, I don't remember even hearing about Guilty Gear. Thanks, Flatline. That was around Halo time, right? Because I was into Halo for sure. Oh man, now I'm jumping around. Galaxy Rangers, they used to say a lot. Goose, my man. Huh. So much to think about now. See, now you guys are giving them ideas for more lines for us all to be overwhelmed by. Thanks a lot. I think Transformers 1 did bad because one, first trailer looked bad. First impressions matter. This is very true. Two, people are saving for the wild robot. Three, Michael Bay ran whatever good faith it had to the ground. See, I think three had a lot with me. Like when I see something that looks like it's trying to be Michael Bay again, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like Rise of the Beast was okay, but there was still too much. It felt a little more Michael Bay than Bumblebee. And I thought Bumblebee was a really good movie. But you're right about the first impressions for sure. I think you're right about number three. And two, yeah, you're probably right about two. I've heard good things about Wild Robot, but it's only been since I saw Transformers because I didn't even know that was a thing until the trailer before Transformers was on. But I've heard incredible things about it. But then I also had heard incredible things about Transformers 1, so we'll see. The one thing going for Transformers 1 is it doesn't need tons of money to break even. Like it made 75, and I think they usually say you want around 2.5 times what that is, or what the cost was to break even. And 2.5 times 75, 75, so 150. Oh, come on, math. 37.5, 187.5, somewhere in there is probably what it needs to make to break even. So hopefully it'll get there. After the first weekend, though, I think it was only around 40 million. So that's why I say hopefully it's got legs. Brick, gotta go. Great stuff, Dave and chat. Have a great night. Brick, thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. And enjoy the night. You have a great one as well. Whew. All right. Flatline. I gave the Bay movies the 3-strike rule. 3 strikes and I don't go to anymore. That's a good rule. That's a very good rule. I should have stopped after the second one, honestly. Saber Riders had a better story than Galaxy Rangers. Most of the toys would have to be vehicles. Ooh, I'd be good with that. Were Saber, what were the ones that were like black and they had gold things like buzzsaws and they were vehicles? Were those Saber Riders? We're giving him too many ideas, guys. We're host. We're host. I hope Jada announces a new Metal Gear Solid line. Man, I love the fact that they're doing cyberpunk because it shows a different kind of style than what they've been doing before. And then Scooby Doo is a totally different style than cyberpunk. One thing that I do think they're missing is a more realistic looking thing. And even though I say Jada's awesome because they do stuff that's outside of the realism aspect, if they could nail one line that looks pretty realistic, they would be 1000% unstoppable. And I think Metal Gear Solid, that would be a great line for him to give it a shot with. Oh my gosh, guys, I've almost caught up. This is amazing. Yeah, that would be awesome. Flatline, let's see. Guilty Gear was a sleeper hit. I got it when it first came out, and I was the only one at the time in college campus who owned it. College in Morrisville. Man, where's Morrisville? I should know. I've heard Morrisville. I know, right? I had you, don't worry. Ghost Have Transformers 5 had Optimus Prime's most memorable line: "Before the end of this battle, I'm gonna kill that human." Prime. That is such an Optimus Prime thing to say. That's what I loved about Transformers 1. They really got Prime right. I mean, I loved a lot about Transformers 1, but when he's no longer Murder Prime, you realize, okay, somebody that understands the character wrote this. Energon movies should be fire if they do the comic material. G.I. Jones. Oh, if they do like the Energon universe, that would be cool for us. But would it be cool for kids? Like, I want to know if the kids are stoked about Transformers 1. Saber Rider had a robot horse and a spaceship that transformed to a robot cowboy because anime. Awesome. See, that just sounds nuts and something I would totally be into. At least into checking out. Nolan. Yup. Because anime. All right, guys, what do we have here? It's 8:39. We'll go till 8:45 or so, my time. So 6 more minutes. See, Morrisville is about a 40-minute drive from Syracuse. Okay. I do know Syracuse. So we're good, Flatline. Thank you. So any other thoughts on the whole overwhelming toys thing? Like, is everybody else, are you guys like me where suddenly you're going, there's so many good lines, I've got to just pull back and focus on a few because who knows what's going to happen if I try dipping into all these other ones? Or are you more like, do you have more self-control basically? Are you kind of like, I can dip in this one and I really like this and pull that, get this here. And if so, you're so lucky, man. And I just said Yusa. Stupid Jar Jar. Skew, great topic, Dave. It is a thing. It is definitely a thing. I was hoping you guys would come in and say, Dave, here's how you solve it. But instead, all we did was talk about more stuff for us all to buy in the future. No! I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. So when Toypixx gets nuts, there's going to be a big office and there's going to be no figures there because I'm going to want to keep all the figures at my place. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably going to be posters. Like I was looking at some Displate stuff, at some Displate Transformers posters specifically. I'm like, those would be fun. Like there's a Bumblebee Optimus Prime one that looks sweet. But then suddenly I'm getting into more stuff. Would rather be overwhelmed than underwhelmed. This is true, Nolan. This is true for real, man. Like I will say though, a few years ago when I came up with my guidelines of, okay, I only want figures that can do this, 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 it was a safe thing to say because there were so few lines that did all the things I want. Now it's like almost every line does the things I want. So now I'm just going, oh no, what do I do? There's so much I want to test out. That ship on Saber Riders was called Ramrod and was voiced by Peter Cullen. Oh no. Now I kind of have to watch that. Although, I don't know about you guys. Can you hear anything but Optimus Prime when you hear Peter Cullen? Like, I mean, I guess Eeyore is a big time departure from that. But I remember when he did Toonami commercials and he sounded just like Optimus Prime doing Toonami commercials. Nobody is ever just whelmed. I know, I would like to be whelmed. I want to be whelmed. Just kind of happy medium. I've been wanting an updated Ramrod forever. I'm going to have to look this thing up, aren't I? Although I am a kind of, I'm not sure I want to look up a Ramrod on Google. Yes, I am there right now. I have self-control, but it's starting to get to the point. There is a lot I want point. I know, man. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm just looking at this. Like if you saw, I made, so the 3 lists I made were MAFEX, Threezero, and Jada. And as I'm looking at them, I'm just going, and then there's NECA. And then there's Action Force soldiers. Then there's Monster Force. Then who knows what else? Then which Transformers should I dip into for Hasbro? You know, it got messy. It got messy just looking at my phone last night as I'm making these lists. Skew, yes, enjoying the over. Oh, it's going to get ugly. Flatline Dave, thank you very much for this live stream and the conversation. Just subscribed and liked. I got hit the wind and got started on my wrestling stream. Stay awesome and blessed. Flatline, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you subbing too. That's awesome. Enjoy the night. Enjoy your stream. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. The former Bird app. Yes, you will. That's right, folks. I'm still going nuts over on X. So if you get on X, hang out, come leave comments. I'm still trying to stay up with everybody. It's crazy. Feeling whelmed. Oh, Harry, you lucky putz. Everyone should feel whelmed. We just want to be whelmed. Cullen was the first voice for Mario, too. I didn't know that. That's cool. Oh, it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to let you go. But thank you very much for hopping on and joining in this chat that, well, it frankly wasn't helpful at all. We all just have to spend more money. I think that's basically where we're at with this. So anyway, enjoy the night. Thanks again for stopping by. It's always a blast to chat with all of you. And until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See you.